But all of us, to a man, knows the most important thing in this life. We know how to f***ing party.
From the very beginning, Shameless made it clear that it wasn't necessarily going to be everyone's cup of tea. With ultra-racy coming-of-age humor and the central presence of one truly depraved dad, the series blurred the lines between skillful dramedy and bad taste. But as we came to know and sort of love the Gallagher clan, this Showtime original became one of the most unlikely success stories in American television. But as the show churned out more and more redundant plots and completely pointless seasons, Shameless stopped being a show made for, well, basically anyone.
Those of you who are too lazy to tune in last week, this is what you missed on Shameless. Thanks, Tim.
When Shameless first premiered in 2011, it gave the Showtime network a much-needed boost. Without a major hit since the early days of Dexter, studio execs brought in the talents of showrunner John Wells. Wells had been hard at work developing an adaptation of a popular British series. Although it was originally intended for HBO, the American version of Shameless eventually wound up on the competing network, where it rose to critical and commercial acclaim.
For this guy.
Whoa! That's a strike. That spill almost stopped you there. Already lost one best work friend. Don't need to lose another so soon.
Okay, you can let go now.
Like a cursed take on the live, laugh, love of family sitcoms, Shameless immediately distinguished itself with an extremely not safe for work intro sequence. Loud and proud characters, terribly funny writing, and consistently obscene narratives. While Showtime had produced similar low-brow comedies such as Weeds and Californication, nothing could really prepare viewers for the debauchery of Frank Gallagher and his rowdy offspring.
No. The bat is for killing, not for taking to school.
And for those unfamiliar with its equally profane British counterpart, the first season of Shameless took many audiences completely off guard. Played by award-winning actor William H. Macy, Frank Gallagher makes Tony Soprano look like a contender for the world's best dad. Gallagher is the sort of character that viewers could instantly despise. Many of Frank's most shocking deeds are too deplorable to discuss. No matter what personal traumas are revealed, no matter how downright hilarious he may be, Frank Gallagher represents the absolute worst humanity has to offer. But hating on Frank was half the fun in watching Shameless in its heyday. In fact, Frank's despicable nature sparked the show's greatest magic trick. How does such a bad person have so many great people around him? As father to more kids than you can count, Frank essentially created a built-in support system to keep himself afloat and afoul of sobriety.
Daddy!
While some Gallagher kids are rarely, if ever, heard from, 5 of the clan make up the core cast of Shameless. De facto leader Fiona, bright but troubled Lip, conservative and conflicted Ian, the destructive Carl, and mostly earnest Debbie. It's no question that the antics and struggles of Frank's family are what kept the series running for so long. Born into poverty, saddled with a deadbeat dad, the Gallaghers are the definition of babies who are born feet first. And for several seasons, audiences couldn't get enough of their stories. Whether it was Fiona's latest god-awful career choice or Lip's never-ending stream of heartache, Shameless offered a glimpse into the world of Chicago's most desperate family. Somewhere between the black humor of It's Always Sunny, the teen angst of Degrassi, and late-night exploitation flicks, Shameless often blurred the lines of comedy and shock tactics. And for a long time, that combination was downright addictive. The ultimate power of Shameless was perhaps personified in the stellar season 4 finale. Frank, having previously been scammed out of a kidney in his bid for a new liver, finally receives the transplant needed to save his life. But when the doctor tells him he can no longer consume alcohol or carry on his hard living, a livid Frank escapes from his hospital bed with the help of his young son. As Frank and Carl walk along the frigid shores of Lake Michigan, they share a drink, and although supremely disgusting, this moment acts as one of the few in which we somehow see them as father and son.
I'm alive, mother. Me, Frank Gallagher!
This brazen finale was hard to swallow in all the best ways, like a perfect encapsulation of everything that made Shameless so great up to that point. This scene unfortunately marked a major turn for the series, because after the credits rolled in season 4, a surprise scene offered a glimpse at a series at war with itself. After watching Fiona overcome a codependent relationship with Jimmy for the upteenth time, his post-credits reappearance marred an otherwise exceptional finale. While not a totally unnecessary presence on the show, Jimmy's strength as a character relied on Fiona's relationship to him, and when it felt like that river had run its course, it was a little disappointing to see him return. Fans of the OG British series were perhaps spoiled by Jimmy's counterpart played by young James McAvoy, but when the American Jimmy disappeared, it felt like an opportunity for Fiona to grow and develop on her own as a character, or get sent to jail, normal Shameless stuff. But when Jimmy reared back up, the results were noticeably stale.
I love you.
You.
I love you. Do you still love me?
No.
From season 5 up until season 9, the show limped along with less spectacular results, but a no less devoted fanbase. As Lip went to college, hell, and back, as Ian found himself trapped in more tangled webs of love and lust, we sort of bought it, for a while at least, because when actor Emmy Rossum eventually walked away from the role of Fiona after season 9, the show never truly recovered. The show seemed hell-bent on upping the ante, but as Shameless showrunners did everything they could to make sure nothing was ever too good for the Gallaghers, our tolerance for their decisions and patience for their mistakes began to wane, and in most cases, these later episodes feel like deliberate retreads.
Well, look who's back.
In the exemplary season 2 episode, Just Like the Pilgrims Intended, we were served an insane South Side Thanksgiving in which Carl hunts a bald eagle with an Uzi, Ian attracts a sugar daddy, and a naked guy shows up to a pool. Inside all of that insanity, we watch Lip struggle with young fatherhood in its most extreme form as his ex tries to literally sell the child he believes to be his. Lip's attempt to make contact with the estranged infant are downright touching, but by the second episode of season 10, Lip's relationship to his latest newborn baby is pushed past the point of believability. As we watch Lip smoke cigarettes near his child, leave him unsupervised, and nearly drop him, we are asked to accept that Lip is just like his father Frank. In fact, when Frank consoles the clearly struggling Lip, he comes completely unglued. While this moment sounds devastating on paper, and although actor Jeremy Allen White plays the painful role to perfection, we can't help but feel like it's all a bit too much too soon. Lip, for all of his troubles, is still an extremely bright person. To assume that an admittedly troubled character would immediately fall into destructive patterns around his newborn feels like a show grasping to maintain a status quo.
What's up with that glove?
Oh, I stole a few from the hospital, so I'm not touching them with a smoky hand later,
As an unfortunate callback to Karen's baby bidding war in season 2, Frank of course gets in on the child market action by the show's disastrous 10th season. Attempting to auction a child who was in fact fathered by his youngest son Carl, his plotline was not only heinous but had also already been done some 8 years prior, and to much greater effect. Although redundant plots certainly play a hand in the downfall of Shameless, it isn't the only problem. Where shows like It's Always Sunny still somehow manage to both evolve and shock us with each subsequent season, the Gallaghers just got more vicious. By repeating the same plots and injecting them with more mean-spirited mindsets, the show became a funnel for edgy jokes with no real purpose. From Frank spurring on hate crimes in the name of ending gentrification, to Carl staging public hostage situations for police training, these late-stage jokes are all bark and no bite.
Don't be a hero, I swear.
Shoot the hostage. I like your style.
While British television shows are often best known for having very limited series runs, the UK edition of Shameless ran for a whopping 11 seasons. Perhaps this helps to explain why the American version held on for just as many seasons, even if their content had gone far beyond the pale. Maybe it was Showtime's insistence on maintaining their cash cow that resulted in an ill-advised COVID-19 themed episode. Maybe it was our undivided interest in the never-ending strife of one impoverished family that kept the series coming. In some ways, these final episodes made us question what we found so funny or charming about the series in the first place. While it's easy to look back on those early episodes with nostalgia, it does beg the question, what was it all for?
I guess that's it. Not much left to say, really.
And that is it for this week's episode. So, which episode of Shameless did you think jumped the shark? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button to keep up with all our Nerdstalgic videos.